I mean, so
Sorry.
going based off day one, beside like putting the fact, I mean, putting aside, okay, going based off of day one, putting aside that no one can play right now. Which what do you expect? Even someone in chat, Outlaw said it best. Like, or was it Outlaw or was it? Okay, either way, one of the two said that the game's on Game Pass, and that's just a whole other influx of players who just pay $10 to play the game, like myself. So that's going to cause massive overflow onto the servers anyways. So, and then also you got to remember this is not a big team too. So this is like a huge undertaking, especially being on Xbox Game Pass of all things. I don't think anyone's ever dealt with this kind of like server abuse before, at least on their teams. But to talk about like the actual bats, like again, like the game feels good, like we talked about before. The game feels amazing.
When you can play it.
Yeah, when you're able to play Payday 3, like it feels fucking amazing. The gunfights feel. I mean, I still don't like that I can't lean to shoot. Because I feel like they definitely layered the map to take cover as much as possible. And they just don't have a lean peak, which kind of sucks. But again, I'm not overly upset about it. But again, like the game feels amazing. The missions feel great. I don't know how many there are, so I don't know how repetitive things are going to feel like after 20 hours or even 12 hours of playing. But as far as like the actual negatives of the progression system, I think that is probably like putting all like the system, like the server side stuff to the side, because the reality of it is, yeah, the game is great. Stealth is more challenging. Yeah, like even stealth, like people are really enjoying the stealth system in the game. But I will say, like, I played 3 Heist, and I can get a good feel for the game already. Like, it's an amazing game as far as gameplay goes, but progression's also a huge part of this game, not including like all the other stuff that Payday 2 had to offer. But when you look at it, it's bigger picture. The progression system is absolutely a joke. Like the fact that you level up through challenges is
only challenges. Don't forget about that.
Yeah, and only challenges is such a brain dead fucking take on XP. Like I'd much rather grind out 15 million XP than grind out a single challenge to shoot a sniper in the head from 100 meters away with the Glock while with one eye closed. Like that's just stupid. Like I
Cheater born in heaven.
That's what I'm saying. Like or what is this fucking Jaeger's task from Tarkov? Like, hey, I'm gonna need you to shoot this PMC from 150 meters away while you're gagged, like while you're ball gagged, your arms are tied behind your back, someone's punching your nuts, and then also like sticking toothpicks through your fucking toenails. Like, make sure you get a headshot. That's their challenge. Go get it. Oh, and by the way, the challenge only gives you 500 XP.
Honestly, I feel like what they should have done is have you get XP from finishing heists, but also give you bonus XP if you complete challenges.
It's the annoying part is they had a perfect formula on Payday 2 to, because again, like you get prestige, there was renown, like there was so much you could have done in Payday 2 to give yourself more and more XP, and there was progressions, there was prestige, there were these special masks for every time you were to, prestige a certain way. Like there were so many different ways. I mean, there was so much incentive to playing the game more. And that's the other thing too, is once you're done with the challenges, what's the fuck the point to play anymore? That's exactly, like once you're done doing the challenges, say that someone does do all the challenges and within a week, there are streamers, there are people who can just play the game from the time they wake up to the time to go to bed. Like once those people, or even like people who are just really good at video games who can just knock it out. I mean, who's to say that what's the point of playing your game after the challenges are done and you stop their XP progression or any type of game progression after that? Going into weapon mods, I think the charm, at least for me, the charm of playing Payday 2 was the wackiness of it. There was just so much wacky things about it that made it feel great. That if they were to bring that part into Payday 3 with the way it looks, it would be awesome. Like, I love that someone who was on a VR can gangster grip a fucking Gatling gun and just mow down an entire fucking like police force. Like, it was crazy. It's awesome. Or a SWAT force, whatever the fuck they use in Payday 2. But like the fact that someone could do that is fucking awesome. Like the wackiness of these guns you could build, the mini Gatling gun with the snub barrels and like you know, with a scope on it's hilarious. Like the stuff you could make with the weapon mods were amazing in Payday 2, and all you had to do was level up and buy it. Like some things require a certain currency, which is fine, but again, it wasn't a do these challenges to unlock, like do this grindy shit to unlock one weapon attachment. And again, like going back to experience, I mean, again, experience is no longer tied to how well you execute the heist. Again, the cool thing about doing the extra objective stuff, besides making the extra money, which I love making the money, is that again, you get more XP for doing it, and now you're not even getting that anymore. So what's the fuck the point of doing it unless you're short on cash? Which, by the way, these missions pay pretty damn good anyways to begin with. No longer selling your weapons. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I get it. Why that's frustrating. And like the point of it was to, whenever you ran out of slots, you can just sell one and rebuy one. So like, again, I get the frustration, but it's not like the biggest ordeal. The skills, I will say, I do like the reference of someone saying store brand flakes. Yeah, like I haven't even gotten to the skills yet, and I mean, I'll trust the opinion. Like the skill sets, like all the skills you had in Payday 2 were amazing, and the fact that the community would, no, you're fine. The fact that the community would like min-max their skills for whatever scenarios they're in, that's awesome. That's great gameplay. All you're doing, this game's gonna make people go back to Payday 2. That's all I'm saying. But what were you gonna say?
I will say a lot of the skills just feels like they were ripped straight out of the perk text, not from the actual skill tree.
Yeah, and that's,
I can agree with that.
yeah, and that's like, again, it's a sad reality for this game, because I mean, whatever. Like this game had a formula that worked, and all you had to do was port that formula into Payday 3 with all the new stuff it has, and you would have had a banger. And right now, when people can get into this game, it's going to be very hard for people to play this after a week. I guarantee it. People are going to have a hard time playing this after a week. The weapon buying, the UI in itself, I'm not gonna lie, is fucking garbage. Whoever was the UI designer on this project needs to get fired today. Needs to get fired yesterday. Needs to get fired last month, last year. The second that person put pencil to paper on chalking up what the UI was gonna look like, they should have been fired right then and there. I don't know who kept track of this, but the fact that to invite somebody to a lobby is O, but to remove them from my friends list is T. And I don't know if y'all know what the keyboard looks like, but if you imagine QWERTY, which is QWERTY, T comes before O. And to invite somebody, the natural instinct would to be pressing the most far left key that would be first in order, not last in order. Psychologically, like in your brain, it just makes sense to press the first one before the last one. Most games and UIs are set that way. That is a UX decision, which is a user experience. It's basically how it's designed, how it's used, and how it's designed is garbage and how it's used is alright. So, but the fact of it is someone dropped the ball on that. And I guarantee you there's a lot of people who had to re-add themselves already from accidentally pressing the thing that their brain is almost wired to do. You want things to feel smooth and seamless when it comes to UI and UX, which is user interface and user experience, which is basically everything you see on a main menu or like a pause menu. And again, like it just doesn't seem seamless or smooth. And one of my friends was like, "Yeah, the UI is trash." I was like, "Okay, let me go check it out myself." And as a person who is trying to become a UI designer and a UX designer for Activision, I can officially say that, like, yeah, my own opinion, that's the garbage UI. Just my own opinion. It's just I don't know what their thought was behind it. but it's just a garbage system right now. It looks absolutely terrible. Not including no identification where things are. There's no there's no organization between weapons between primary and secondary. The new features though, kill streak bonuses, I don't know why that's a thing. I'm not gonna lie, the overkill perk is kind of like, there's only two weapons, the grenade launcher and the Barrett. Like, I'm sorry, but again, the coolest part about Payday 2, bro, they made an edit of you. Cool. I don't know. Some guy is about to post a link, I think. I don't fucking know. Anyways, the whole point of Payday 2, what was so cool about it was the fact that you can pull out a GL and a Gatling gun at the same time and just go fucking crazy. Again, the wackiness and just absolutely absurdness of Payday 2 was its charm. Besides all the awesome stuff, like how abilities stack and how great the abilities were, like the skill sets and skill trees and the ability cards, like all that stuff was amazing. On top of the weapons you can just bring into fucking battle, like, I mean, bring into fucking heist. It was crazy. And that's why they had the concealment rate. Now, like the some of the fun of it, I guarantee you a Gatling gun is going to be part of the fucking bonus streak. Like, why that's the system, I don't know, but I guarantee you most people are upset about that. The hostage system, you know, I could fuck with it. It doesn't really. I do like in the hostage system that you can shove people. Like, you need certain hostages to get into certain rooms. I think that's a cool mechanic. In general, that's just cool. I think that was a cool thing. But
that's definitely fun for solo. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off.
No, you're fine. No, and solo, absolutely. And weapon stats, again, like, I mean, I didn't feel any difference between the only difference I felt from having a iron sight gun and a red dot gun was the fact of I just had a red dot. It still jumped every fucking where. Like, I had a few upgrades on it, and the gun feels so, like, you're instead of like shooting in some kind of control pattern, it is like, yeah, we're just gonna go everywhere. Like, I just feel like the weapon parts ain't doing shit for us.
Yeah, I have noticed that when even with like level 26 and I have like level 7 guns, it does get a little bit more manageable, but it's still kind of weird how everything has so much kick now.
Yeah.
Like, I know we're firing guns, but come on.
I mean, most of these, I've fired plenty of guns in my life, and not a single gun has ever made me feel like after the first bullet, I was going to shoot the ceiling afterwards.
Unless you're like very inexperienced with guns, which realistically the Payday gang are not.
Yeah. So, they're literally robbing banks. Oh, that's for a career. But the last thing, I mean, overall, scale of 1 to 10, this game probably gets like a 5. Just because they had a formula. I mean, the game's fun. Should you get it? Absolutely. Should you wait until the game has a little bit more polished? Absolutely. Like, the game's good. The game is polished. FPS wise, amazing. Gameplay wise, amazing. Like FPS for an FPS, a first person shooter, this game is amazing. But if you're looking for that Payday 2 experience from Payday 3, you're gonna be disappointed. You're gonna be mad probably, and if you're a diehard Payday 2 fan, you're gonna fucking hate Payday 3. I like the game because it's still fun. It still offers like that heist and like that heist excitement of robbing a bank, robbing a jewelry store, having waves of police come after you. The cloakers are fucking terrifying, even more terrifying now than they were in Payday 2.
I love their new redesign, by the way.
Yeah, the new redesign's amazing. The bulldozers are fucking amazing. Like, they're more terrifying than they were in the second game. So like, there are some really good things about Payday 3 that make it great in its own light. But if you're looking for the Payday 2 experience that it had to offer between the weapons, the skill trees, the heists themselves, like, granted, Payday 2 is a very old game. It had a long time to develop, to be fine-tuned. Who's to say they don't go back and change some things for Payday 3? It's a whole new game. It has time to change. But I will say that if they don't make changes sooner than later, after a month or two, this game's going to die and people are just going to go back to Payday 2. They'll deal with the old engine. They'll deal with the old AI just to have that,
in general.
yeah, to have that Payday 2 experience, because the Payday 2 experience is something unique and different. And like on all the games I ever played, Payday 2 was its own game for me. Like it was its own feel and it was amazing. I again, not to knock Payday 3, I will say this, like I said, it's 5 out of 10. That says something, and there's still a whole lot of room for it to grow just where it's at. Not putting the servers to aside, because servers are servers. I will give it that. Like servers can sometimes go to shit, and I think with Game Pass they weren't ready for that influx of players that were going to come join and play, because that's a massive influx of players. Someone paying $10 to play a $90 game, you know, like I'll say $90 because of the collector's edition, where the fuck ever it's called.
The gold edition.
Yeah, like the gold edition, like they pay $90, you get a gold edition, boom pow. Like, I mean, yeah. But instead of paying $60 for the base game, you could pay 10 for Game Pass. A lot of people are going to take that opportunity to try out the game, and that's where we're at with the servers. I'm not a fan of the online only thing. Playing single player to do online only, like to be online to play solo, is fucking crazy to me. There's no justification on this earth that you can give me or anyone on earth. Like they're fucking stupid for that. That's a stupid decision.
It's actually even worse, I'll be honest with you, because it's online only, you can actually lag in single player.
Yeah, that too. Like
I've literally lagged out during a single player match.
Yeah, that's another thing too. The fact that like online only 2 doesn't really. So I remember in Payday 2, and it was an issue in Payday 2. If you played online, people, I mean, friends only lobbies too. Like there were people who would come into your game and crash your game.
Mm-hmm.
Like they had that ability. Yeah, like they had that ability. All Payday 3 promotes that more. Granted, I don't know if I mean, it doesn't take a while for those people to figure out how to do it for Payday 3, but like, again, like it's stupid that you can play single player and still lag. It's just dumb, dude. Like I don't know how to put it. So yeah, I mean, again, I don't know if you or Moisty had anything you want to add it to the subject of this game, but like again, I will say like it's a good game. I mean, it's good. The gameplay is amazing. FPS.
I still prefer 2. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, this is coming from somebody who played a lot of 2. I would know. I seen his rank on 2. I seen the stuff he's done on 2. I seen the gear he has on 2. And it's, I mean, yeah.
I mean, I've also played a lot of it. I've gotten, I will say, the only reason why I have the death sentence one down is because I had a friend that gifted me the DLCs, which were like $80 for the full bundle.
Yeah, I had friends who would buy me bundles every now and then on Payday 2, because I was like, I'm really into Payday 2. I'm really into Payday. It's just I can't play it by myself. Most games I can't play by myself. It's just hard. But Payday is a game I can definitely, like, if I'm playing with a good group of people and we're just bullshitting and having fun, not taking it serious, like we're not trying to, like, you know, it's not a big deal if we don't do the stealth thing. It's not a big deal if like we kill a civilian. Like it's just, we're just having fun. Like, then yeah, Payday is one of those games where you can sit back, relax, and have mindless fun for hours with your friends. And you can challenge yourself too. There's parts where you can challenge yourself, but it's not a requirement. It's not a requirement to be stealthy. It's not a requirement to do any of these missions a certain way. You know, that's the best part about it, is that if your friends want to go, like, I know this mission revolves around being stealthy, but let's just blow everything up and just fucking steal everything we can. You can. Mm-hmm. That's the beauty of Payday. So, yeah, I mean, I think I got my rant out about it.
What I am curious about it, though, is what they do with the DLC. Because Payday 2, like the Golden Gun Casino, I could buy it, and then I could host it for 3 other people. Like, they don't have to buy the DLC.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're going to do that again, or if they're going to do something else.
I hope they're going to keep with that policy, because it was a really good thing, because that was the other reason that I was able to complete my death sentence one down thing.
Well,
I mean, it's great.
I will
policy.
say, stealth, the stealth system in Payday 2, I do kind of like better, because stealth in Payday, I meant to say Payday 3, but stealth in Payday 2 was kind of the same no matter what difficulty you're on.
Yeah.
And now it seems like they're adding more difficulty in general.
Which is good. I mean, stealth was kind of busted in Payday 2. You could really do it. Like, a lot of people would do it just because it was easier. I mean, it was challenging in its own right, but like when you got the flow of it and you knew the heist, like it was easy to do it. I will say, I will agree with this review. Bane would be disappointed. I think Bane would be massively disappointed with where this game has gone. And as far as it too, I ain't gonna lie to you. I liked, and you said it earlier, comic. You said it about it. I liked that there was a sense of like real people. Like they had real people trailers. They had people actually move, like real cutscenes of real people acting out certain things. Like you had a real live Dallas, a real live of all the Payday game. Like you had real people. Even the last mission when they not the last mission when they do the burial of Bane. Like they all threw their mask in there. Like those are real people doing. Like they had real live action cutscenes, which was like a real charm to it. Even like when you would do missions for Bane, you saw Bane at a computer. It was a real person going back and forth like on a computer screen. You had you saw real people, live action people. Now that was also another charm. I like how they did that. And then the crime net. No, you're fine. The crime net map was amazing. Now it's just like a scroll thing. Like it's like someone hired again, like fucking Activision did. It's like someone hired a fucking Hulu employee and was like, "Yo, do this," and they were like, "Okay." Oh no, they're like, "Hey, make a new UI," and they were like, "Okay." What did I do at Hulu again? Boxes. I like boxes. Boxes are great.
Like boxes.
Yeah, it's like it was like from birth to now. All this man knew when they played with the little shape box. And it's like the square goes into the triangle hole. The square goes into the circle hole. Like he was that kid. He just likes squares. He likes boxes. And it's going to be part of everything. So again, I don't know what this new fucking UI design is for video games in general. It's not just Payday, but it's like it's like they saw the Hulu menu and they were like, in Hulu menu, I'm not going to lie to you, it's fucking garbage. But they were like, hey, let's use that.
Imagine looking at the Hulu menu and saying, that looks like a good idea.
Exactly. So, not to shit on any UI designers over at Hulu, but bro, I don't know what your obsession is.
Shit on them. It's shit.
I mean, it's a shit menu, dude. And it's a shit menu on video games. And like Call of Duty is my biggest frustration too. Like there used to be a time where main menus were amazing.
I mean, the biggest gripe I have right now with the matchmaking system is that there is no server lobby. You cannot decide which person you want to join.
True.
Yep, that too.
My favorite thing, and here's the other thing, is you guys haven't had much experience because you weren't able to play with servers. The stupidest thing is that if you play with somebody, you know how you were able to kind of keep playing with them in Payday 2?
Yeah, like you just go back to the menu. It just
kicks you back to the menu, and you cannot add them.
Yeah, that's cool. I love that. Love that.
Can't even. So some of the friends that I've made by just playing repeated missions of Payday 2 with them, you can't do that in Payday 3.
Yeah, there is a big massive ball drop there too, because a lot of people, friends you make on gaming, are the same. Random people play with on a random public match. So there is that too. So yeah, I mean, again, game's 5 out of 10 for me. If they add they just got to bring back Payday 2 mechanics, man. Payday 2 stuff, dude. Just like you had a perfect system. I'm not gonna lie to you. Obviously everything needs fine tuning over time, and things need to be kind of adjusted. But I mean, the core gameplay is there from Payday 2. With better AI, that make it more fun and challenging. Where I feel like the skills from Payday 2 would be more balanced. It might even need buffs with the new AI that I just played against. It was only 3 heists, but in 5 hours, it was only 3 heists. But I will say, I think even the skills from Payday 2 would transfer well and would even need a buff a little bit. Totally. So, again, how to make Payday 3 successful? Make it Payday 2, bro. It's crazy, dude. They say the sequel is never as good as the original, but fuck, dude, the sequel was goddamn amazing. What was that?
You can't jump into the van.
You Can you
I
not?
missed that. No, you
No,
can't. They didn't remove that from the beta. I'm sad.
you can't jump into the van anymore.
That's annoying. That's dumb. It was like,
That's game breaking to me.
I mean,
I hate Payday 3 now.
it's not like the biggest ordeal, but
No, you shut up. It's the biggest one ever. How dare they remove that feature?
okay, my bad, bro.
It was such a integral part of Payday's experience.
Yes, was jumping. I mean, yeah, you know what? Fuck that. Yeah, he's right. You know why? Because in fucking Payday, you know, when you're doing a real heist and you're extracting for the first fucking time, I mean, you're trying to jump into that van and get the fuck out. The fact that you can't do that ruins my immersion. You know what? Fuck that. Five out of 10. Yeah,
It's not 1 out of 10.
it's not a 1 out of 10. I can't jump into van. 1 out of 10. Yeah.
No, but on a serious note, like I said, the game has very good core gameplay. It just needs polish. Like, the description that most of the Payday 2 YouTubers have is the most accurate thing ever now. Like, screw the Axemen, screw the other game reviewers that just review games for reviewing them for the sake of it, who have no clue, like, the actual gameplay of Payday.
I love this. This is
Listen to the actual, like, Payday YouTubers if you want the full experience, because they've played Payday 2 far longer than I think any of us.
Probably. I love this right here. As of today, Payday 3 feels like more of a sequel to Payday 2. The heist, Payday 2,
Payday the Heist.
Payday the Heist, then a sequel to Payday 2, which is honestly, like I said, the sequel is never as good as the original. In this case, the sequel to Payday was a lot better than the sequel to the sequel. Someone at Starbreeze, director of UI and overall gameplay, had a giant Call of Duty 2019 fan looking at how they are. Yes. Basically, they said, I want to make exactly Call of Duty 2019 UI. That's what they said.
Mm-hmm.
I work for Activision, and my biggest gripe, and work knows it, and this is my own personal opinion. I've had this opinion for a very long time before I even worked for the company. What the fuck is up with your UI? I hate it, dude. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. Just on a perspective, like, we're not a streaming service, you know?
Mm-hmm.
We're not Hulu. We're not Netflix. We're not a streaming service. We're a fucking gaming company. These are gaming companies making gaming games. Gaming games? What the fuck is that sentence? But they're making video games, not streaming services. Build a fucking atmosphere. Build a tone and mood, and make these fucking these user interfaces and make these experience of the user fucking mint. Fucking bring back Halo 2, Gears of War, fucking menu screens, bro. When the second that game fucking came on my goddamn TV, it built a goddamn atmosphere. It played some goddamn music that put me in the goddamn mood of, like, I am playing Halo today, bro. Or I'm playing Gears of War 3 today. Shit's gonna get real. Like, put me in those moods. Payday 3, like, it kind of did that. But then I got into the menu, and there's, like, 3 options. Like, okay, cool. Like Starfield, that shit's a piece of shit, bro. I don't give a fuck. That game sucks ass, and their main menu was a lazy take. What they did was I can make Starfield's main menu in under 5 minutes. It's the picture of the fucking background of the main theme, and then 4 boxes with text in it. It's ready to go, boys. It's ready to get shipped. I don't know. Either way, I won't. Like I said, I won't dog on Starfield much more. I dogged on it enough, but it's a shit game. And Payday 3 is halfway complete. I'll say that. This is what I'll say. Payday 3, I'll even say this. Payday 3 is an incomplete game that just released. They just push something out to get push something out, and I hope to God that, why does it main menu need more than that? So
I will say though, sorry.
what?
I think the crucial thing, though, before anybody, like, starts pointing fingers, is they need to point fingers at the upper management at, like, Starbreeze and stuff. Because it's not the developers who are at fault here. It's literally the upper management saying, no, we need to have this so that way we can have more money.
Yes.
It's not due to the developers, you know, wanting to push those features. It's they have to, otherwise they lose their jobs.
Yeah, so just real fast before I touch on your question, Hugo. That is something I cannot preach more about. The one thing that pisses me off and how uninformed people are is that it's not a dev decision. Devs do have a creative team that bring ideas to the table, but there's people above them who say yes and no, and then you have to eat it. Like, you can have an amazing idea, but somebody can say no to it. Someone above them can say no to it, and it sucks. So